Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophie, and I'm really happy you're here with us today. It feels nice to sit down, breathe a little, and talk together again. How are you feeling today, Leo?
Hi, everyone. I'm Leo. I'm feeling calm, actually. A little tired, but in a good way. You know that feeling when you had a long day, but your heart feels quiet? That's me today.
I know exactly what you mean. Today feels like a slow day for me, too, and I think that's perfect for our topic. We want to talk about a day that changed our lives. Not a movie moment, not something perfect, just a real day, a normal day that suddenly became important.
Yes, a day you don't forget, a day that stays with you. Sometimes it's not loud, sometimes it's very quiet, but after that day, you are not the same person.
When I think about my day, I still feel it in my body. My chest feels warm and heavy at the same time. It's strange, and I think many people listening will understand that feeling.
I think so too. Many of us have one day like that, or maybe more than one. And sometimes we don't talk about it, even with close friends.
That's why we wanted to talk about this today. Not to teach anything, just to share, to feel less alone, and maybe to help someone listening feel understood.
If you feel connected to this kind of conversation, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us, and it means a lot to know you're here with us.
Thank you for being part of this little cozy space. Okay, let's start. Leo, what about you? Do you remember the day that changed your life? After the introduction, the room feels a little quieter, like both of them are leaning back in their chairs, thinking.
Yeah, I remember it very clearly. Sometimes I wish I didn't, but most of the time I'm thankful that I do. It was not a special day at all. It was just a normal Tuesday. I woke up late, I was already stressed, and I remember thinking, today is going to be a bad day. I had no idea how true that would be, but not in the way I expected.
That sounds familiar already. It's always the normal days, right? The days you don't prepare for.
Exactly. I went to work like always. Same bus, same street, same coffee place. I even remember the smell of the coffee that morning. I was tired of my job at that time. I felt stuck. I felt like I was walking in circles every day, doing things I didn't really care about.
I can really feel that. That feeling of being stuck is so heavy. It's like your body moves, but your heart doesn't.
Yes! And that morning, I felt empty. Not sad, not angry, just empty. Around noon, my phone rang. It was my sister. She never called me at work, so I knew something was wrong. My hand started shaking before I even answered.
Oh, I know that moment when your body knows before your mind does.
Yeah, she told me our father was in the hospital, very suddenly, no warning. One minute he was fine, the next minute everything changed. I remember looking around my office and thinking, why is everyone still working? It felt unreal, like I was watching a movie, but I was inside it.
That feeling of the world not stopping, it hurts. You want everything to pause, just for a moment.
I left work without saying much. On the bus to the hospital, I kept thinking about small things, not big memories, just his voice when he said my name, the way he laughed at his own jokes. I realized how busy I had been, how many times I said, I'll call him later.
That realization is painful. It comes so fast, and you can't stop it.
When I arrived, I saw my sister crying in the hallway. I had never seen her like that. In that moment, something broke inside me. I understood that life is very fragile, not in a poetic way, in a very real, scary way.
I'm so sorry, Leo. That sounds like a moment that stays with you forever.
It does. That day didn't end my life, but it changed how I see everything. Even now, years later, I can still feel the cold floor of that hospital under my shoes. After that day, I couldn't live the same way anymore. I didn't know how yet, but I knew something had to change.
Thank you for sharing that, truly. When you talk about it, I feel like many people listening are thinking about their own moment, that one day they still carry with them.
What about you, Sophie? Was your day like this too? Or was it different?
Mine was different, but it had the same feeling at the end, that quiet shift inside. My day didn't start with bad news. It started with hope. I was actually excited that morning. I had an important meeting, something I worked for a long time. I thought, this is it. This is the day everything gets better.
That kind of hope is very strong, almost dangerous sometimes.
Yes, and when the meeting didn't go the way I dreamed, it felt like the ground disappeared. They were kind, but they said no. They said I wasn't ready. I smiled, I thanked them, and then I walked outside and just stood there. I couldn't move.
That silence after hope breaks, it's loud in its own way.
Exactly. I sat on a bench and watched people walk by. Everyone looked like they knew where they were going. I felt small. I felt like I failed at life. That day didn't look dramatic from the outside, but inside me, everything was shaking.
Those days can change us just as much, sometimes even more.
Yes, that day forced me to look at myself honestly. My fears, my expectations, my need to prove something. I went home feeling tired in my bones, not just my body. The room feels warm now, like both of them are sharing something fragile and real.
It's strange how different days can lead to the same place inside us.
It really is. And maybe that's why these days stay with us. They show us something we can't unsee. After that day, I remember lying in bed that night, staring at the ceiling. My body was tired, but my mind would not stop. I kept replaying the meeting again and again. Every sentence, every look on their faces. I asked myself so many questions. Am I good enough? Did I choose the wrong path? It felt like my whole future was suddenly very unclear.
I know that feeling so well. After the hospital day, I went home and sat in the dark. I didn't even turn on the lights. I just sat there and listened to the silence. I thought about how fast everything can change. One phone call, one moment. And suddenly, all the things I worried about before felt very small.
That contrast is powerful. One day you worry about emails and plans. The next day, none of that matters the same way.
Yes, but at the same time, life doesn't magically become easier, clear. The next morning, I still had to wake up. I still had to go to work. But inside, I was different. I was more sensitive. Little things made me emotional. Even a simple song on the radio could make my eyes fill with tears.
That happened to me too. I remember walking to the grocery store a few days later. Nothing special, but I suddenly felt very alone. I looked at my phone and realized I didn't know who to call. I didn't want advice. I didn't want someone to fix it. I just wanted someone to sit with me in that feeling.
That's such an honest need. Not solutions, just presence.
Yes, but I didn't know how to ask for that, so I didn't call anyone. I went home, made tea, and sat by the window. I watched the sky change color. It sounds simple, but it felt important, like my body was trying to calm my heart.
Sometimes we start listening to ourselves only after something breaks. Before my day, I was always rushing, always planning the next thing. After that, I noticed small moments more. The sound of my breath, The way the sun came into my room in the morning. It was like my senses woke up.
That's beautiful. Pain can open our eyes, even when we don't want it to.
But it wasn't only beautiful. I was also scared. I started thinking about death more, about time, about how much I was wasting. That fear stayed with me for a long time.
Fear stayed with me too, but in a different way. I was afraid to try again, afraid to dream big. That no from the meeting felt like proof that I wasn't enough. I started playing small, saying no to opportunities before they could say no to me.
That's a very human reaction. Protecting yourself.
Yes, but it was slowly making me smaller inside. I didn't notice it at first. I just thought I was being realistic. But deep down, I was hiding.
When did you realize that?
Months later, I was talking to a friend and she asked me, "What do you want now?" I didn't know how to answer. That scared me more than the rejection. I realized I stopped asking myself that question.
Wow, that's heavy. Losing touch with your own wants is very painful.
It is. That question stayed with me, and slowly I started writing things down. Not goals, just feelings. Things like, I want to feel proud. I want to feel calm. I want to wake up without fear. It was the beginning of something new, even though it didn't feel hopeful yet.
That sounds like the start of healing. Quiet, slow, and not very clear.
Exactly. What about you? How did things change for you after your day?
At first, I tried to go back to normal. I told myself, be strong, don't think too much. But my body didn't agree. I was tired all the time. I got sick often. I was angry for no clear reason. Finally, I understood that I couldn't just push it away.
Our bodies are very honest. They tell the truth when our minds don't want to.
Yes, I started talking to my father more. Really talking. Asking questions I never asked before. About his life, his regrets, his dreams. Those conversations changed our relationship. I realized how little I actually knew about him.
That's such a gift, even if it came from a painful place.
It was, and it made me think about my own life. What kind of stories would I have one day? What would I regret not doing? Those questions were scary, but also motivating.
That mix of fear and motivation is powerful. It can push us forward if we let it.
Slowly, I started making small changes, not big dramatic ones. I took walks after work instead of scrolling on my phone. I said no to things that drained me. I said yes to things that felt alive, even if they scared me a little.
I love that. Small changes are more real than big promises.
Exactly. And over time, I felt more present, more honest with myself. That day didn't give me answers, but it gave me better questions.
That's such an important point. Sometimes a life-changing day doesn't tell us what to do. It just shows us that we can't stay the same.
Yes, and even now, I still struggle. That day didn't fix me, but it shaped me.
Same for me. I still feel fear. I still doubt myself. But now when those feelings come, I recognize them. I don't run away as fast as before.
That awareness is huge. It changes how we live step by step.
And maybe that's the real change. Not becoming a new person overnight, but slowly becoming more honest with who we are.
You know, when you say more honest, it really touches something in me. Before my day, I was always acting. Not in a big, fake way, but in small ways. Smiling when I was tired, saying I'm fine when I wasn't. After that day, I didn't have the energy to pretend anymore.
That tired honesty can be very real. It's not brave at first, It's just honest because you can't do anything else.
Exactly. I remember one moment very clearly. A friend asked me, "How are you?" And for the first time, I said, "I don't know." My voice was quiet. I was a little embarrassed. But after I said it, I felt lighter.
I had a similar moment. Someone asked me about my plans, my career, my future. I always had a ready answer before. This time I said, I'm figuring it out. And that was true. It felt scary, but also freeing.
It's interesting how saying the truth can feel like taking off a heavy coat you didn't know you were wearing.
Yes, and people reacted better than I expected. No one laughed. No one judged me. Some people even said, me too. That surprised me.
That happened to me as well. When I stopped pretending to be strong all the time, others felt safe to be honest too. It made my relationships deeper. Fewer people, but more real connections.
That's such a big lesson. Quality over quantity. Before my day, I wanted approval from everyone. After, I wanted peace with myself.
Peace becomes very important after you see how fragile things are. I started asking myself simple questions every morning. How do I feel today? What do I need today? Not what I should do, what I need.
That's beautiful. I started something similar, but at night. Before sleeping, I asked, what was heavy today? And what was kind? Some days the kind thing was very small. A warm shower, a smile from a stranger. But it mattered.
Those small things start to feel big when you slow down.
Yes, and slowing down was hard for me. I felt guilty at first, like I was being lazy or wasting time. But I wasn't. I was listening.
That guilt is so common. We live in a world that always says more, faster, better. A life-changing day can break that voice a little.
It really can, but it also brings new fears. I started worrying, what if I never feel confident again? What if this is the best I can do? Those thoughts came often.
I had those thoughts too, especially at night. The quiet makes thoughts louder. Sometimes I miss the old me, the version of me that didn't think so much.
I understand that. Sometimes ignorance feels peaceful. Awareness can be heavy.
Yes, but over time, I realized something important. That awareness also gave me choice. Before, I was living on automatic. After, I could choose how I reacted, how I spent my time, who I gave my energy to.
Choice is powerful. I noticed that too. I couldn't control the rejection. I couldn't control other people's decisions, but I could control how I spoke to myself after.
How did that change for you?
At first, my inner voice was cruel. You failed. You're not special. But I started answering it. Not with positive quotes, just with fairness. I said, you tried. You're learning. It felt strange, but it helped.
That's a big step. Being fair to yourself instead of kind all the time. Fairness is more realistic.
Exactly. Kindness felt fake at first. Fairness felt honest, and honesty was what I needed.
After my day, I also started therapy. That was a hard decision. I thought I should handle things alone, but talking to someone who didn't judge me, who didn't rush me, changed a lot.
I'm really glad you shared that. Asking for help is still seen as weakness by many people, but it's actually courage.
It is. In therapy, I learned that grief is not only about losing people, it's also about losing versions of yourself. The person I was before that day was gone, and I needed to grieve that too.
That's such an important point. I grieved the version of me who believed that one success would fix everything. letting go of that dream hurt.
But letting go also creates space.
Yes, space for new dreams, quieter dreams, more honest ones.
After some time, I noticed that my priorities had changed. I didn't care as much about impressing people. I cared about feeling aligned, about going to bed without regret.
Alignment is the perfect word. I started choosing things that felt right in my body, not just good on paper.
That body wisdom is real. We often ignore it until something forces us to listen.
And even then, we don't always listen right away. It's a practice.
Yes, some days I still fall back into old habits, rushing, overthinking. But now I notice it sooner. I pause, I breathe, I remind myself of that day.
That day becomes like a quiet guide, not a threat, not a fear, just a reminder.
Exactly. A reminder that life can change fast, so we should live gently.
Gently with others, but also gently with ourselves.
Especially with ourselves.
It's someone listening in the middle of their own life-changing moment, or just after it. I want them to know this part. The confusion, the slowness, the fear, it's normal.
Very normal. You don't have to become stronger right away. You don't have to learn the lesson quickly.
Just staying present is enough at first.
And trusting that clarity will come, even if it comes quietly.
I'm really grateful we're talking about this, Leo. It reminds me how far we've come, even without noticing.
Me too. And it reminds me that change doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like stillness.
Stillness used to scare me. Silence felt like failure. If nothing was happening, I thought I was falling behind. But after my day, stillness became a place where I could breathe again. It wasn't empty. It was full of answers I was too busy to hear before.
I feel that deeply. After everything happened with my father, I started waking up earlier. Not to be productive, just to sit. I would drink water, look outside, and let my thoughts come and go. Some mornings were heavy, some were calm, but all of them felt real.
Real is such a good word. I think that's what changed most for me. My life didn't suddenly become better, but it became more real. I stopped chasing moments that looked good and started noticing moments that felt true.
That shift changes everything. I remember one afternoon, months after that day, I was walking home and suddenly felt okay. Not happy, not excited, just okay. And I realized I hadn't felt that in a long time.
Those quiet, okay moments are so important. We don't celebrate them enough. We wait for big happiness, but peace often comes softly.
Yes, and peace doesn't mean nothing hurts anymore. It means you can hold the hurt without falling apart.
That's beautifully said. I still have days when I doubt myself, when I feel behind, when I compare my life to others. But now I notice those thoughts sooner. I don't believe them as easily.
Awareness again. It keeps coming back to that. That day gave me awareness I didn't ask for, but now I'm grateful for it.
Me too. At first, I was angry at my day. I thought, why me? Why now? But now, when I look back, I see it differently. That day didn't ruin me. It redirected me.
That's a powerful way to see it. Redirection often feels like loss at first.
Yes, and sometimes it is loss, but not all loss is bad. Some loss makes space for truth.
After everything, I made one promise to myself. A simple one. I promised I would not wait as much anymore. Not wait to say things, not wait to live, not wait to be honest.
That promise is huge. I made a similar one. I promised I would stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a moving target. I started acting from curiosity instead of fear.
Curiosity is gentler than confidence. Confidence can feel heavy. Curiosity feels open.
Exactly. I don't always believe in myself, but I stay curious about myself, and that keeps me moving.
If someone listening feels like their life-changing day broke them, I want them to hear this. Breaking is not the end. Sometimes it's the opening.
Yes! And you don't have to understand it right away. You don't have to turn pain into meaning fast. Time does that work slowly.
Be patient with yourself, more patient than you think you need to be.
And be gentle, especially on days when you feel weak. Weekdays are part of strong lives.
I love that. Weekdays are part of strong lives. That's something I wish someone told me earlier.
Me too. But maybe we hear things only when we're ready.
True. And if today is that day for someone listening, I hope they feel a little less alone.
You're not behind. You're not broken. You're changing.
And change is uncomfortable, but it can also be beautiful.
That day changed my life, not because it gave me answers, but because it taught me how to listen.
That day changed my life because it reminded me that time matters, love matters, presence matters.
If you could say one gentle sentence to your past self on that day, what would it be?
You don't need to be strong right now. Just stay. What about you?
This is not the end of your story. It's a turn.
That's perfect. A turn, not an ending.
And to everyone listening, maybe today is not a big day for you. Maybe it's quiet, ordinary, but even ordinary days can shape us.
Pay attention to them. They might be teaching you something softly.
Thank you for sitting with us in this conversation. Thank you for listening with your heart.
Take care of yourself slowly, gently.
And remember, one day can change your life, but healing happens day by day.